What's not working? It took him to a web page to sign up for something. Don't type it in. Click it. All right, hold on. All right, the show's going to start, and then we're going to be live. I'm going to be talking to you on the phone, so give me a second. What'd you say? Oh, I love this thing, man. I was sitting in a Gander Mountain chair before I bought this son of a bitch, and now I'm in heaven. All right. Do you have the? Did you send it, Mitch? Did you send it to him in Facebook Messenger?
I did, yes.
All right. Click on the link he sent you in Messenger. All right. Touch that link. Touch that link with your finger. Are we live?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to explain, viewers, to my Gump cousin how to sign into the show. They're good at football, but they ain't too much good at nothing else. Hey, Caleb, put your finger on the phone. All right, what happened?
Yes, that's correct. You have to copy that link and you have to paste it into a browser.
You need to copy that link and paste it into a browser. And then you should get the screen that allows you to sign into the show. Folks, we're trying to get y'all a real live Alabama fan on. This is the Bama Show. We wanted to get a perspective from somebody born and raised in the state of Alabama. Bear with us. They're hard to catch in the wild, you know. You've got to be real wily. They're really good at winning football games, but for signing into internet shows, it's a real challenge. You did it before.
When he clicks on the thing, what does it say on the screen?
When you click on it, what does it say on the screen, Caleb?
What? He's watching the broadcast?
He's trying to sign in. Send it again. Send him another one. Send him another one, Mitch. Right. Why not?
Sending it through Facebook Messenger. Tell him to check his Facebook Messenger.
Not Facebook. Facebook Messenger. There's going to be a link. You just touch the link or click on the link, and then it'll take you to a screen that allows you to sign in to the backstage area. And you put your name in. It can be whatever you want. There it is. Yep. Uh-oh. Did it work?
Yeah, I sent it to him.
Now your camera's off. Got it? Sorry, folks. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Are you coming in through a phone or are you coming in through a computer? Well, the phones usually give me trouble too, so I'll give you some credit on that one. Tell us. Mayor, maybe y'all can see him this way. This is a real live Bama fan I've caught, and he's going to sign into the show and give his perspective. Maybe it's good he's not here right now. Mitch has got jokes tonight.
Row Tide. Mm-hmm. You got him on speaker?
I don't know how to do that on. I've got him in FaceTime. Wait a minute, his camera is off. No, but I just took a picture.
Jesus, this.
It's trying to make him sign in through StreamYard is basically what it's doing. Well, Caleb, cousin, I got to get on with this show. Why don't listen? I'm gonna let you go for a minute. All right, keep fiddling with it because you can. If it works, you'll just pop up and Mitch will put you in the show. All right. Mm-hmm. So let us get things rolling here, and you keep messing around with it, and we're gonna wait for you to pop up in the bottom of the screen. All right, then. Folks, I want to take this opportunity to bring up the fact that, Alabama, which is the theme of tonight's show, they're pretty damn good at football. They ain't worth a shit at nothing else. As was that. Did you get all of what I said?
Yeah, they ain't good at nothing else.
Did the viewers have to suffer through all of that?
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what we've all been suffering for since 2008. Alabama. Here we are again in college football in Alabama. I done had enough. I ain't going to take it no more. I have rights, and I want to be heard. I have had enough of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Am I alone?
No. I don't even know what to say, Matt. It's like, how can one program be so very, very blessed?
Well, again, let's repeat it for the fifth time. God gave Alabama football because he didn't give them nothing else. Okay, great. We've heard that before. But it's like it's getting to the point now where you're like, that's a funny joke, but it might be real.
Yeah. So I didn't even put together anything this week as far as like schedule analysis or players transferring or players.
It don't matter
because
that's
it doesn't
the problem.
Matter. That's
it don't matter. Listen, Alabama, you can't talk shit to them, but they can talk shit to everybody else because they've proved themselves in every way. When they're expected, they've proved themselves. When they've been doubted, they've proved everybody wrong. Mm-hmm. What was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Correct me on the exact timing here, but they took that shellacking from Clemson. What's the first thing the media said? What's the first words came out of the media's mouth?
The dynasty is dead.
Over. Dynasty's over. Saban's done. It's over. And then what happened?
They put the best college football team that has ever existed.
They came right back and said, "No, it's not over. In fact, we've only just begun." Mm-hmm. I mean, and
What
they've
is
been
the
doing
line?
this. They've been doing this for 13 years now.
Yeah, yeah.
So it doesn't matter about the schedule. It doesn't matter about the recruiting. It doesn't matter about who they lost. It doesn't matter about the coaching transitions. Bama is now, I mean, they have been, but let's just say it. They are now the New England Patriots, the New York Yankees, whatever that team is, pick whatever sport you want. They are the evil empire. They are the Axis powers. And I was hoping that some of these some of my bitches who contribute to this channel would come on from whatever team you pull for and help us dogpile, because the only way I see anything working out is for us to focus all our firepower on the Superstar Destroyer.
I'm glad you brought it up. I was thinking about the Emperor a second ago. Now witness the power of fully functioning after the Clemson shellacking. So I was really hoping that Caleb would be on. Man, we should just end the stream right here. Like this is enough material, you know. I was really hoping to be on because I want to ask him questions. You know, what does he feel like? Where could Bama trip up this year? So,
well, maybe I can help you a little bit with that. I'm not saying that there is no train. I'm just not aboard the LSU train. I know a lot of folks are saying that they're coming back with a vengeance, and this is going to be a good year for them. They're going to be hungry. I don't know about all that. I don't think it. I love Ed Orgeron at LSU. That's the perfect fit. It's like, Saturday morning cartoons or the funny papers. It's like, that's funny. I like that. That fits. I like that. That's Orgeron at LSU. I don't think he's a great head coach. I think he brought in that Brady dude who had the perfect quarterback, and the receiving corps to just overpower everybody. I don't see him outsmarting or outfoxing Nick Saban or even now Lane Kiffin or Jimbo Fisher. I'm not on the LSU train. I think A&M's going to hurt some people because of that defense, but there's too many questions on the other side of the ball. And Jimbo is Jimbo, but I don't know that he's got what it takes to beat Nick Saban. I just don't right now.
Yeah.
So I am comfortable telling everyone out there I think Alabama will win the West and win it pretty comfortably.
Do you think they're going undefeated
in the West,
or on their schedule, on their regular season schedule?
Scroll down.
12-0. So
scroll down. Let me see.
Before I scroll down,
I need to look and see where some games fall. Can you scroll that down? So
yeah.
Get a view.
What's the last game? Auburn.
Okay. I am comfortable saying that they will go undefeated in the regular schedule.
Really?
Hmm. Are you not?
Well, let's see. I can't find an obvious loss, but the thing is it's one of those aggregate losses, right? So if Alabama and Miami play 100 games, how many times would Alabama win out of 100 games?
Scroll up just a little bit.
Right here?
Yeah, can you blow that up? All right, let me just simplify that. I don't care about no aggregate. Who's going to win on September 4th?
Okay.
Who's going to win on September 4th, Mitch?
I think Alabama is.
Okay. Who's going to win on September 11th?
Definitely Alabama.
Who's going to win on September 18th? I don't even know why you're doing a oomph.
Well, the thing is, you got to play 11 games, right? 12 games. You got to play 12 games. It's hard to go undefeated. It's very hard to go undefeated. Alabama.
Granted.
No. I know. I want to take this off the. I want to take this off the screen for just a second here because I want to tell you something. Bama just lost 6 players off their roster to the first round of the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
Not to the NFL draft, to the first round of the NFL draft.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Listen, can a team lose that level of talent and then just come right back and win every one of their games?
Can a team do that? Or can this program do that? Because this program's done that before. So what? Like I said, to open it up, they've proven themselves when they've been doubted. They've also proven themselves when they've been expected.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think if there's still a debate, it's amongst people who don't know what they're talking about. Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach in the history of the game thus far. As long and like we knew he was good 10 years ago. We knew he was great 8 years ago. He's now the GOAT. And as long as the GOAT is doing his thing, I am not going to confidently bet money against Alabama. I will bet a case of beer, which I did against Caleb and his brother, should they meet Georgia in Atlanta, but I didn't bet him any money.
How many times has Alabama gone undefeated under Nick Saban?
I can pull it up. It's not as many as you think. But I'm thinking this year it's as much of the fact that I'm not sold on LSU, and I just don't think A&M has. I don't think A&M has the clubs in the bag, and everyone else most definitely does not have the clubs in the bag. So it's sort of it's not that Alabama might be a world beater again this year. It's the fact that, the other teams lost some folks too. And the other teams aren't Alabama to begin with. I just think Alabama coasts through the West this year.
Alabama went undefeated in 2009, and they went undefeated in 2020.
And your point.
That's the only two times that Nick Saban has had a team go undefeated. Now,
Malzahn is no longer there. And whatever you feel about Malzahn, his one feather in his cap kept him around because they wanted him done years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that he was able to always sneak in there and get one. Mm-hmm. There ain't no more Johnny Manziel. Not in the West this year. So some of these losses, and then there's the Ole Miss anomaly. Hugh Freeze, I think, did it 2 years in a row, did he not?
Mm-hmm.
He also did it with, guys who were probably 26 years old getting paid on the underside. Could be argued. So there's factors. There's things to talk about. There's curiosities when Alabama doesn't go undefeated. This year, I don't see those things. Something like that would have popped up on our radar. We've covered all these teams. There's that quarterback who was going to give them trouble. Didn't have that. We didn't talk about that yet. There's this team who's coming on, really, really strong on both sides of the ball. This is the one. We haven't said that this year. If there was somebody in the West who was a legitimate threat, I think we would have put them over thus far. They ain't a team that we've said that about yet since we've been doing these capsules.
If you had to bet all of your money on this question, I want to ask you one question. You got to bet all your money on yes or no. Will Alabama go undefeated in the regular season?
I'd bet all my money on that.
You bet on yes?
Yes.
They will be undefeated?
I think they will beat everyone in the West, and I think they will beat Miami. Who is it going to be? I'm taking from this that you would not bet all your money on that.
I don't think I can.
Who's it going to be?
I don't know. Well,
you need to have an answer to that that's better than I don't know.
I think that a reasonable amount of time.
Let me add one little thing, and this applies to all teams, but I'll say it now. I'm comfortable making that bet as long as they stay healthy. I mean, damn, if they suffer out of nowhere the Georgia injury bug that we had last year, then of course they can lose this. But if they stay healthy for the most part and they operate on all cylinders, even with this new because we've been through this. Oh, they have a new offensive coordinator. Yeah, we've seen that movie before, and they come in and they lay waste. They have proven themselves. They have the credibility. I am comfortable betting on Alabama.
Even though they've only ever done it twice.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, even in the years that they didn't, and some loss crept up on them, I was comfortable betting that year. I am comfortable betting on Alabama, even that they've only done it twice. Yeah.
You want to make a bet?
I'm not. Well, it depends. What are we betting?
I don't know. What do you feel comfortable betting? I'll pony up something.
A large pork lo mein.
Ooh, buddy. Oh, now you're speaking my language. All right, I'll put up against. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Yeah. Yes. I will. I will see your pork lo mein, and I will go with. How do you feel about butter curry chicken?
I like it. I don't know where else to get it besides where I work.
I know a place. You're gonna have to drive over here to Selinsgrove though to collect when the tide rolls. But
wait,
right,
what's the bet? You're saying
no. This.
What is the bet?
If Alabama loses one or more games, you must buy me large lo mein from the Golden Chopsticks, only $11.15
in the regular season.
In the regular season.
Okay, let's get that clear.
We're not talking about the playoffs or anything like that.
They lose one
of their
regular
first 12
season game. I buy you a large lo mein.
And if they go undefeated, I will purchase for you the butter chicken curry from Zyka Kebab in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
I'll take that bet.
Done. Somebody write down the timestamp there at the 22-minute mark. So, okay, that's a fair bet.
Let me ask you this. Because if I lose that bet, I'm going to be giddy because they lost.
Right. You also get to have some of the pork lo mein, so that's another reason to be giddy.
So, I mean, I'll be happy to lose that bet. Will you be happy if you lose my bet? If they go undefeated, will you be happy about that? Because it pretty much means we can trust them to go into the playoffs and bring one back to the SEC where it rightfully belongs, as they've been doing for the better part of a decade. How do you feel about that? Are you still an SEC homer, or when it comes to Alabama, are you fatigued like the rest of the country?
No, I'm not. I'm not fatigued. If they're the best, they're the best. But that's the same thing applies to any college. If it's Clemson, if it's Notre Dame, if it's Oklahoma, if it's USC, it doesn't matter to me. If you're the best, you're the best. All right, and you go out there and earn it. Like I want my Georgia Bulldogs.
Let me stop you right there. I don't know that Clemson earns it playing in the ACC. You do have to play college teams, not glorified boys club YMCA teams, I think. And Clemson plays glorified boys club and YMCA teams. And if Danny Cannell don't like what I'm saying, let's meet and I'll whip your ass, son.
There's somebody I would like to bet some lo mein with, Mr.
I'd like to bet a baseball bat on those knees. But we're going to get probably cut off by the Facebook censors here in a minute, but I don't give a shit because Danny Cannell's a clown and the ACC's trash and Clemson has an easy road to the playoffs, and I said
it. Okay, so I guess Caleb's not coming by tonight. So what do you want to talk about, Matt? Maybe we should tell these people we should do a little bit of housekeeping at the 24-minute mark here. Sorry, we missed you for the past few weeks. Life got in the way.
IRL, in real life.
Mm-hmm. So some things came up. It's been a rocky couple of weeks for me. Had a couple deaths, and we had to do some traveling.
I got that second COVID shot. Boy, let me tell you, last week, Yama-san was feeling pretty poor.
Yeah, Matt I told him that Moderna was no joke on day 2, and he talked a hot streak of trash that morning, and
Sure
then
did, boy. Woke up feeling I had a little sore arm, but I felt like $1,000,000, and I was texting Mitch like, "Man, y'all full of shit." Took my son to the park, had a coffee,
uh,
and then lunchtime hit, and boy, you've heard like hit
Moderna.
by a ton of bricks. I was hit by a couple of tons of bricks. I had to go put
Hmm.
my son in his crib, and he didn't want to go in his crib, but he was going in his crib because Daddy had to go lay down for the rest of the day and night.
The funny thing for us was that Heather and I got our shots on the same day, our second shots on the same day. So the next day we were both trashed, and we had to call the babysitter to go pick the kids up from daycare, and then come over and watch the kids while we were here because
Oh boy.
we couldn't get off the couch. I'm telling you, there was a Mitch-shaped impression in that couch for 24 hours.
Damn.
And the
Yeah, I
next
believe
day,
it.
I had some of the lo mein. I had some of the pork lo mein from the Golden Chopsticks.
I sure need to have some of this magic pork. I don't even like meat in my I like veggie lo mein, but
Uh,
I'll do the pork lo mein for the sake of this bet. You know what? There is something to talk about though. Georgia took.
yes, yes.
Georgia got. I don't know if took is the right word. We got a transfer from Alabama, former four-star DB
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Turnage. I don't know nairn about this kid, but I know he's coming to Georgia now. And because I
And
don't know nairn about him, all I can say is welcome aboard. Um,
who
three
was it?
games in 3 years. I'm expecting him to build some depth, perhaps.
They guess who finished ahead of him? So he was number 102 the year that he signed to play college ball. He was the 102nd best player in the country. Guess who number 101 was?
I don't know
Jalen Kimber.
who we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kimber's pushing for a starting spot.
Exactly. So
Well, maybe this guy will come and find at Georgia what he could not find at Alabama. I know the rest of our transfers are finding what they could not find at Georgia at such perennial powerhouse programs as North Texas,
mm-hmm.
Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Where did Matt Landers land?
Toledo.
Mm-hmm. These are the kind of talent. This is the talent we were fielding. When we were losing the games we weren't supposed to lose. Toledo, North Texas, Temple. Mm-hmm. Maybe we are not quite as we're winning these mythical recruiting championships, but what do they really mean when you have our guys transferring out and the only takers are Temple, Toledo, and North Texas? Although LSU did snatch up Major Burns. And I'm confused because Major Burns made some noise in the spring, like he was having a pretty good spring, and then he's like, nah, I want to go hang out in Baton Rouge where they rape people and then hide it. That's what I want attached. Oh, for those of you who don't know, LSU's the football team won't be affected, but LSU, the university, the administration is facing some major trouble legally. Let's just morally, like it's morally bankrupt there, and it's going to reflect very poorly on Louisiana State University. A lot of sexual assaults that were just that didn't happen.
Man, I can't believe I just laughed at a rape joke on the stream. Jeez.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that
I mean, they get their day in court, but the evidence suggests that LSU overlooked sexual assault charges. What else do you want me to say? And that's where you want to go play? Well, have at it, man.
Go Tiger.
I know way back when, let's keep, this is the Bama show. Let's keep it on Bama. I know way back when we were talking to our Florida colleague, he felt like it was a year where, Florida could, Rocky Balboa their way to a win over Alabama and then turn around and lose to, some bullshit team on their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think so? You think do you think the Florida Gators you think you're going to see this year have something for Bama in the swamp?
I believe what Ethan said was, I don't want to speak for him and speak out of turn, but I believe what he said was most likely Florida lose 3 games.
Yeah.
And the most likely losses were to Georgia, Alabama, and LSU. And of those 3 most likely losses, the most likeliest of those losses was to, and he said LSU.
He
He said
did.
there's no way.
And
He said there's no way Florida beats LSU this year.
I disagree because I'm not on. I just said it. I'm not on the LSU train. I'm not. I'm not sold. But he is. But I think it's also mental because LSU is to Florida what for many years Florida was to us, and what now Alabama is to just about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to stay on Alabama, you think Florida can sneak in there and shiv Alabama in the shower?
Now, are you asking the question, do I think they can or do I think they will? Because those are different questions. Do I think
Both.
they can?
Both of them.
Do I think they – I'll answer the second one first. Do I think they will? No, I don't think they will. Do I think they can? Sure. Sure, they can. It's possible. If played 100 times, Florida squeaks out a certain amount of wins there.
That's who they draw from the East.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sold on LSU. I think Bama handles them. That leaves you with A&M with a brand new quarterback. I don't. Why is he texting and not on the show? I hadn't seen Brandon Abels in like 5 years. What is he doing? I know you can hear me.
Brandon did a solo show the other night. Nobody came to sit with him either.
Because I got down here too late. Plus, I was also – he probably didn't want me on the show. I was in rare form.
Brandon, come on the show.
Listen, I understand. He's Tennessee. They don't really want to show their face outside of their basements. And I get it. But here, whoa, let's put Tennessee over for a second. Those players you got hemorrhaging out of Tennessee, Brandon, they're going to Oklahoma and Bama. Our players are going to North Texas and Temple.
There you go. So
that should make you feel better.
I don't know. I think that Tennessee's losing this part of their roster, though, and Georgia's losing this part.
You gonna buy me some butter chicken? I want to know who on that schedule is going to beat them. You must call it. You must decide.
Ole Miss.
You won't have to worry about the butter chicken because I will burn the world to the ground. If Lane Kiffin is the first of Nick Saban's former assistant coaches, whatever you want to call them, to beat him. If it's Ole Miss, I'm gonna burn the world to the ground. You ain't got to worry about your bet.
Let me ask you a question. What was the score between Ole Miss and Bama last year? Do you remember?
Bama never relinquished the lead, but it was tit for tat.
Look it up real quick.
It was tit for tat. Yeah.
63-48. Yep. So 9 touchdowns to 7 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me ask you a question. Is Alabama better this year than they were in 2020? Will the 2021 version of the Roll Tiders be better than 2020?
That's impossible to answer.
Let me rephrase. Will the 2021 version of Alabama be better than the version of Alabama that just won a national championship and sent 6 players to the first round of the NFL draft?
I don't think the sending guys to the NFL is – I don't think that lends as much as as a lot of people like to think that it does. Good for them. Defensively, they could be. Because defensively, they got shredded by Ole Miss. I see where you're going with this. You have to understand that the man who is cut the deepest by that wound, the fact that they won 3-48 or whatever it was, is Nick Saban. You had best believe, and he's done this to us, and he's done this to almost everybody else. No, everyone else who's ever cut him deeply. There will be an answer. Do I believe they will be better? Do I believe they will be more prepared that week? Yes, I do. And I say that because he's proven himself. We went down there in his first year and beat him in Tuscaloosa. For the next decade plus 3 years, he has owned Georgia's soul.
So here's the question. Who does Alabama play after Ole Miss this year?
We'll bring up the schedule.
I'll tell you. It's Texas A&M. So you got those two teams back-to-back on the schedule, and they're difficult games comparably for Alabama. You got them back-to-back. If a loss is going to come, I think it'll be from one of those two teams. And I personally prefer the offense over the defense. You see where I'm going? I think that Ole Miss will outscore Bama before Texas A&M shuts them out. Make sense?
Yeah, I can get down with that if I had to pick.
Okay, so that's fine. So I'm just pulling that right there. Boom. That's my Port Lomain answer for you.
All right, well, okay, that makes sense, and I would agree with you if I were on your side, but I'm not. I think Bama handles their business with both of those teams. I think there's still too many question marks on Lane Kiffin's defense, although the recruits are starting to catch up.
Wouldn't it be great if it was Tennessee?
Yes, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
And that was one of the
if Tennessee beat Alabama, I'd buy you the pork lo mein and probably something else.
Probably by Brandon and Dren some pork lo mein.
Oh my God. If Tennessee were the one, if they pulled I don't know, give me a good example here. Stanford beat USC. What was it? 06, 07. They threw it was like fourth and 1,000 yards, and they threw and hit the guy on the 1 yard line, and he fell into the end zone and unseated the number one team in the country. I think it was 07. Mm-hmm. If Tennessee were to do that to Bama, yeah, I would probably. I don't want to say this because then I'm committed to it, but would you wear a Tennessee jersey? It's ugly orange. I don't know if I can commit, but I'm thinking if I was buttered up the right way, I might put on a Tennessee jersey if they.
I could probably be convinced to sing Rocky Top.
I might be able to do that. I might sing some Rocky Top if the Volunteers, the orange shit show, were to somehow, some way, with the puncher's chance, knock Alabama out. I'd sing Rocky Top. Mm-hmm. But it ain't gonna happen.
No, it is not.
It ain't gonna happen.
My God.
Now, what would you do? What if Auburn sneaks? What if Auburn pulls an Auburn? What if Auburn just, gets some of that good old Auburn voodoo, that Auburn luck?
I ain't never, not nary, going to root for Auburn over anyone, including Alabama. So when the Iron Bowl rolls around, I'm a Row Tide. I'm a Row Tide.
Row Tide. Roll Tide.
So I got no love for Auburn. But if Auburn were to squeak out a win there, I just don't know, man. I couldn't hear no more damn Plainsmen. No more.
I say Alabama goes undefeated in regular season, meets up with the East champion, and depending on who that East champion is, goes on to the playoffs. That's my prediction for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And if it's Georgia and Atlanta, I think Georgia finally gets that ass.
But that probably doesn't keep Bama out of the playoffs.
Depends on how the season goes, man. If we beat Clemson in week 1 and then beat Alabama in the SEC championship game, you're probably right. It depends on how the rest of it shakes out. You're not going to have an undefeated Oklahoma team left out because they're already ranking them number 1 in the preseason. If Ohio State goes undefeated, they're not out.
Mm-hmm. Clemson would be the odd man out.
Clemson would have to hope that Alabama won everything pretty. I didn't say they was going to win pretty. I said they was going to win. I think they're going to get a bloody nose somewhere in there, probably in that little stretch you talked about, Bama between Ole Miss and A&M. There's going to be a broken elbow and a slanted nose. There's going to be some. There's going to be some marks get left from those two games, and possibly from Auburn, because Auburn don't really give a shit. You never know. Auburn could be 0-12, and it's Alabama, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, we're the 72 Dolphins. We're going undefeated tonight." You know what I mean? They have that mentality. You can't call it. But if Alabama has like some ugly wins and Clemson only loses to us, and we go on to beat Bama, Clemson might have an argument.
Before we wrap this up, and I think that maybe we should start thinking about doing that. I got a question for you, a hypothetical. I want to know your opinion on this. How many combined wins will Vanderbilt, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Auburn have this coming season? Now, these are the teams that all have new coaches, right? So I want to know the combined win total of those 4 teams.
Give me those teams again.
Auburn in the West, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and South Carolina in the East. All right, so you got Clark Lee from Notre Dame, who is going to be coaching Vanderbilt. You got what's the guy? Shane Beamer at South Carolina. And
I got an answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
3 teams. Between 18 and 20. You need me to settle on a number?
Yeah, give me a number.
I don't want to shit on the SEC too much because it doesn't do us any benefit if the SEC is garbage. So I'm going to say 20 wins between the 3 teams.
20 wins between the 3 teams. So an average of 4 wins per team.
Well, right. But wait a minute. No, I don't want you to frame it like that because I think Vanderbilt and Carolina will have 3 to 4. Tennessee 5. What was the other one? Auburn will hit 6 wins. They're too lucky. They're too lucky.
Of those 4 teams, only one becomes bowl eligible?
I believe that.
So I thought in our earlier show when we were talking about the winner of that trifecta from the East, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt, whoever wins that little round robin there will most likely become bowl eligible.
If it is, it'll be Tennessee with 6. They had some dudes. That was evidenced by the transfer portal. They got some dudes. There might be games where it devolves into yard ball, and they might have more than whoever else they're playing. Tennessee, I'm gonna say 5. They might squeeze 6.
So you're picking 20?
I'm gonna pick 20 wins.
20 wins.
What are you picking?
Well, you pick 20 and all wins below 20. So 0 to 20.
Yeah.
I'll take 21 and higher.
Okay.
What are we betting?
Why are we gambling all of a sudden? I don't gamble.
Poor Lemaine.
Whoa. Why are you picking 21 and higher? You know what a dumpster fire 3 of these schools are. Auburn's not a dumpster fire right now, but they're having some issues. Why are you picking 21 and higher?
Just have a feeling.
That's not an argument. Why are you picking higher?
Hey, I'm not here to argue. I'm here to bet. Hey, we can talk more on that off the air. But listen, I need to wrap it up. We're going 45 minutes here, and never could get your cousin on the horn here, huh?
No, I guess in Alabama, some things just don't work out. Unfortunately, football's not one of those things that don't work out.
Yeah. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
She's not wrong. Okay, folks. Been super fun. Good to see you again. We're going to do this again next Tuesday, right? And what will the topic be? We have no idea.
Well, now we're done with the capsules. We can get back to what we know, which is some Georgia frickin' football.
Good idea. And before we go, Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That'll put a smile on your face unless you have mental problems.
Right. All right. So as always, I'm Mitch. This is Matt, and we'll see you next Tuesday, folks.